Now that you've installed your Blend Buddy 2, it's time to show you how to troubleshoot any problems you might have. How do you know when your chemical is empty? You may experience a slight vibration in the unit or hear a high-pitched whistling noise. You may find a large amount of foam in the fill tubes, like this. Also, there will not be any citrus scent to the solution if the bottle is empty. If you experience any of these symptoms, it's time to replace the chemical. The most common problem is with water pressure. When installing the BB2, Envirox recommends checking the water pressure. The ideal pressure is 35 pounds per square inch to 75 pounds per square inch, or PSI. If a large volume of water is spraying out the back of the Blend Buddy 2 through the back flow vents, this is a sign of high water pressure. Use a pressure flow reducer that has a rating of 40 to 60 PSI, either from your hardware store or Envirox, and test your water pressure. Again, the ideal pressure is 35 to 75 PSI. If you are experiencing a trickle of water down the outside of either dispensing hoses, this is a sign of low water pressure, below 35 PSI. If this is the case, we recommend you check the main water valve to make sure the faucet is open all the way. If your faucet is completely open, then you need to look at your other sources of water in the building. In either case of high or low water pressure, the back flow boot may have become dislodged and you will need to reset the boot in place. To reset the boot, find the dispenser tool included in the installation kit. Remove the flow module from the top of the unit with the dispenser tool. Inside, you'll find an O-ring, a washer, the back flow sleeve, and the boot. To make removing the flow unit easier, use a small hook tool. Once you have pulled out the flow module, push the boot back completely onto the sleeve so that the flanges are flush. If you find that a boot flange is warped or appears wavy, a new boot must be installed in the unit. When placing the boot and sleeve back into the unit, make sure you place the boot and plunger or sleeve in first. Then the washer and the O-ring back into the flow device. Finally, insert the flow device and tighten in place. If you have water spraying out of the top of the unit, check to see that you have replaced the washer and/or O-ring. If water is leaking out of the black cap or where the hose is connected to the unit, hand tighten. Do not use a wrench or any other tightening tool. This will avoid over-torquing. If you find foam in either of your dispensing hoses and the concentrate bottle is not empty, your ductbill may have failed. If you're getting foam in the green dispenser hose, this means the red side has failed. If you are getting foam in the red side, then the ductbill has failed on the green side. Here, you can see that foam has accumulated in the green dispenser hose. To fix this, replace the ductbill in the red dispenser side. To replace the ductbill, get the dispenser tool found in the installation kit. You must remove the white hex cap on the side opposite of where you are experiencing the problem. Here, the foam is found in the green hose. The white hex cap needs to be removed from the red side. Once the white hex cap is removed, pull the red metering module out, like this. Insert a pair of tweezers into the module opening and remove the ductbill. As you see here, the ductbill is easily removed. Finally, you will insert a new ductbill into the metering module and replace back into the unit. Always make sure you have put the small O-ring back onto the metering module before inserting. Now, we will check the metering modules. These modules are in place to accurately monitor the dilution ratios of H2Orange 2 Concentrate 117. If you wish to test the dilution ratio, Envirox provides peroxide test strips for your convenience. These can be purchased from your local distributor. To test the green dilution, fill the green bottle to the fill ring while depressing the green button. Insert a test strip into the bottle for 1 second. Remove the test strip and shake off any excess solution and wait 45 to 60 seconds. Following the waiting period, compare the color found on your strip to the color chart located on the back of your test strip tub. The accurate reading should be between 150 and 300 ppm. You must compare the colors within the 45 to 90 second time frame for an accurate reading. The color will continue to darken after 90 seconds and the reading will be false. The process is a bit different when testing the red dilution. There are over 3,000 parts per million of oxygen in the red dilution. The test strips will not read that high, so you must dilute the red to test it. Here's how you do it. First, depress the red button on your dispenser while filling the red bottle to the 3:1 mark. Do not surpass this mark. Once you have reached the 3:1 mark, then fill the rest of the red bottle to the fill ring with plain water. Insert a test strip into the red bottle for 1 second. Again, remove the test strip and shake off any excess solution and wait 45 to 60 seconds. Following the waiting period, compare the color found on your strip to the color chart located on the back of your test strip tub. The accurate reading should be between 850 and 1,000 ppm. Whether testing the green or red modules, if you do not get the proper results, it is time to replace the metering module. Next, we will discuss the dip tube. The dip tube is the long, white plastic tube found in the middle of the dispenser. It resembles a white straw with a diagonal tip for easy insertion into the chemical bottle. If the dip tube falls out of the dispenser, simply push the tube back into place. If the tube breaks while loading the chemical, call your local distributor for a replacement. It is important to remove all of the tube first before inserting a new tube. If you are having trouble removing the broken part of the old tube, we have found that by inserting a small screw inside the broken dip tube, it can then be easily removed by pulling out the inserted screw with a pair of pliers. If you find you need to repair the red or green buttons on the Blend Buddy 2, you can do this while the dispenser remains on the wall. It is important to turn off the water while doing any repairs, and especially when repairing the buttons. You will know when the buttons are not working properly, when the normal clicking sound you hear when depressing the button does not occur. To fix a red or green button, simply unscrew the housing around the button to expose the moving parts. Inside the housing, you'll find a large spring, a small spring, the stamping, a spacer, the piston, and the diaphragm. Most likely, the piston must be repositioned if the button is not clicking properly. Reposition the piston so that the pointed end engages the center hole of the diaphragm, as shown here. If you find water leaking from the red or green button area, you need to see if the diaphragm has been ruptured or displaced. Again, unscrew the housing and check the diaphragm. It is highly unlikely that these two things will happen. If the diaphragm is displaced, simply reposition it and reassemble the button. If you find that the diaphragm is ruptured, you must replace it. When reassembling the button, always make sure that you can hear the clicking sound to verify that it is working properly. At Envirox, we guarantee complete satisfaction with all our products. If you have any questions or problems, please don't hesitate to call your local distributor. You can find us on the web at www.h2orange2.com.